There's a pretty one, Ulysses. There it is.
Hello BookTube, I'm Sean the Book Maniac. Welcome back to my channel. What a beautiful morning. It's about, 8:30 or something. I slept till almost 8. Kenji came home late last night and left early this morning, which never happens. If he comes home late, he usually doesn't get out of bed early, so I haven't seen my husband since yesterday morning. But I finally woke up just before 8, and here I am, and it's a beautiful day. And the sun seems to be my friend. The crows aren't bothering me. Let's get going. I have bailed on one book. It's the least surprising bail of the year, and that was Diana Evans's Women's Prize shortlisted novel, Ordinary People. I read half of the first chapter, and that was enough for me, so I stranded Britta, and she's reading it. She's a trooper. I just found it pretentiously boring, just full of lists about the clothes people wore and the music they listened to and what they were drinking, and it was just snooty bullshit. So nope. I vaguely remember a couple characters wandering into a paragraph, but all I found out about was, who are you wearing? Jesus Christ. So that didn't last very long. What have I started? I've only started one book, and I'm delighted to tell you that I am getting along very, very well with Barbara Pym's novel, A Few Green Leaves. This is a buddy read with Ange Beyond the Pages, and we will finish it up today or tomorrow. It's not as good as her best novels, but it's so comfortingly reminiscent of her best novels that I'm loving it. It's probably going to be a 5-star read because it's just Barbara Pym. Her stories have such a unique whimsy, covering over a sadness and loneliness that is not limited to women of a certain age who are unpartnered, but certainly her protagonists tend to be like that. And I'm always trying not to laugh at the characters, but to laugh with them, because I think that's Barbara Pym. Yeah, really, really great. Enough about that. Yeah, so that's what I've started. So, but sorry, I'm doing this out of order. What have I finished? Okay. I have finished 3 books, and none of them were novels. This single-bound short story, A Good Man is Hard to Find, by Flannery O'Connor. I read it years ago, decades ago, and remember not liking it, but don't remember anything about why I didn't like it or anything about the story. I loved it as a somewhat older, wiser reader. Doris' and my discussion video of this, I think, turned out quite well, and it will go up tomorrow, I think. It's just one of those pitch-perfect stories that I would be turned off trying to analyze it. It's that much of a masterpiece. I've had a fantastic reading week, if I didn't say that at the beginning. I also finished yesterday Alice Munro's collection of short fiction, Too Much Happiness. Apparently it won the 2009 Booker Prize. I'd read almost half of these stories either in the New Yorker or when I started reading this collection almost a decade ago, and set the book aside for whatever reason. So I have read it from cover to cover again as a buddy read with Kendra Winchester. And because it's been years since I've read Alice Munro, and she still is the goddess of the short story. There's really, other than Mavis Gallant and possibly William Trevor, who I haven't read very much of, there's nobody else worth reading in terms of the short story form. And it's her longer stuff that doesn't work. So the last story in here, the title story, I didn't like. It was based on a historical figure. She was a Russian mathematician, Sofia Kovalevsky. I didn't like that. I thought the writing of that was flat, and I didn't get anything out of it that I wouldn't have got out of reading a Wikipedia entry. And I had that reaction to Alice Munro's last collection, which was historical fiction based on her family back in Scotland or something. And I bailed on that. So, there's a certain kind of reader, and I'm like that. I'm like that with Barbara Pym, where when they kind of go out of what I'm used to, I don't like where they take me. And I get to have that reaction, but there are other reactions, people that are more flexible, and they can follow a writer when they really change when they want to try something new. I'd say, you go girl, you should try whatever you want. But no, I didn't like it. And I didn't like that last collection. But the rest of the stories in here are vintage Alice Munro, modern women living oftentimes small lives after betrayal by men, because men are shit, we all know that. And she introduces an instability into her storytelling that is at the heart of storytelling. What am I trying to say? Fact and fiction, narrative perspective, all of that, she works with it in such an intricate, entertaining way that you're never really sure quite where you stand or what's happened or how you feel about what's happened. And it's just an experience that I recommend to you all very highly. I can't talk about short story collections any more than that. I loved it. You should try it. Alice Munro, go, go, go. How's that for an articulate review? And I'm a little bleary-eyed because I stayed up really late to finish this book. And this book, I think it's changed my life as a reader. Dear Friend from My Life, I Write to You in Your Life by Ian Lee. I have just filmed, not a review, there's no possible way, I don't think I could ever review this book, but I've given some hot take responses, and we'll try to edit those into something that's not complete gobbledygook, and probably post it before you see this Friday Reads. This was confoundingly brilliant, and one of the richest reads of the year. I don't want to say anything more than that. It's memoiristic essays ostensibly about her recovery from suicide attempts earlier in this decade. Also her life as a reader and a writer. And it's not about that. It's about so much more than that. But that's the only way I know how to summarize it in a sentence or two. Check out my review. There won't be much more articulate as there, but I will go on at some length about it. This is a book I will be rereading for the rest of my life. That's the highest praise I can ever pay to a book. Wow. So, yeah. It's been an absolutely phenomenal reading week the more I talk about it. What's coming up? Today I will be starting a buddy read of Otessa Moshfegh's first novel, McGlue. This is a buddy read with two of my Litzy friends, Leah, who I've mentioned before. We've done several buddy reads. And my first buddy read ever with Cindy. And they've already read the first chunk because of time zone difference or just being incredibly enthusiastic. So I'm going to read, it's a 100-page novella. We're going to divide it up over 4 days. So I'll read my first chunk today. They have enjoyed what they read. I don't know how I'm going to get along with Ms. Moshfegh, but I will give it an honest try. And that's my final buddy read of the month. And I have 2 or 3 other books that are still in progress, but I think I can fit in one or both of these. I have held these up all throughout the month as books I would hopefully get to in the coming week, and I remain hopeful, even more optimistic, that I will get to at least one of these. Oh, I have 3. One of them is manga, so manga is a quick read. This Japanese manga, What Did You Eat Yesterday? By Humi Yoshinaga. I hope to get to this, finish off my Asian readathon with this. Ariana Harwich's newest novella to be translated into English, Feeble Minded. The reviews of this have been outstanding. I can't wait to get to it, so it's, if not next week, very soon. Similarly, Max Porter's new novel, Lanny. I think I might be able to fit these in next week, but we will see. Whew, so I am feeling great. I hope you are too. Tell me all about it. Thanks for watching.